Hey guys, Brent Hull Build Show, talking today from the Roof Tile and Slate Company, which is in Dallas. It's a salvage yard, right? Salvaging these historic things. I'm going to talk to you today about the opportunity to build amazing roofs on your houses, the opportunity for design and detail that you may not know about today in the Build Show. Come join me. So guys, if we just look at these tiles, right, and just look at all the variety of what's going on, if you look at the colors of the glazings, if you look at all the different parts and pieces, the blues, the greens, the whites, the yellows, all the different colors and details that are going on here, you get an idea for the scope and magnitude of the opportunity with roofs that we have today that we aren't using, okay? Using roof tiles like this, and they all speak to the architectural character and styling of your house. So if you're considering building a Mission Revival or a French house, naturally it's going to lean towards a certain type of roof. We'll talk all about that today, but this gives you a glimpse for the incredible variety that's available on your roofs. Okay, so the earliest type of roof tile that would be done is just a circle barrel tile, okay? Now the barrel tile required that you'd also have another tile that would sit like this. And when it's laid up, you have actually 2x4s in your roof that you're laying this on a 2x4, and then the other tile comes up underneath and sits like this and catches the rain, right? This is you're catching the rain and letting it run off your roof. And you'll see examples of that in the showroom up front. But the earliest type is this, and the stories I've heard of them pounding out the clay and actually laying the tile on the top of their leg as the form, right? And then they would let this out and dry. Another type of tile is just more of a flat tile like this. Now, both of these are Ludovici. I've talked about Ludovici before in other videos. It's a 130-year-old company. A lot of this out here is all salvage tiles, so you're seeing salvage tiles coming from different roofs and different periods. The next type of tile is called an S tile, and it's a cheaper way of getting this barrel look, but instead of having another tile here, this sits here, and then the S tile comes and sits back on top of that. There's a number of different ways of doing it, and in my mind, the beauty of this thing is it all gets into the architectural story of the house. This is what's called a French tile, okay? It is found in areas of France. It's very common in France. You sometimes see these on railroad depots in America. We've done a number of depots where we've done restoration, and this kind of French tile and this shape. Now, why is it called a French tile? Because in France, they actually use this type of shape and this type of detail. It's a great looking roof tile. Notice too that there's a blend of colors, that there's this dark green, medium green, kind of lime green, right? And that blend, as we start talking about these roofs, you'll start seeing a blend of colors. This is what's called a clay tile, also by Ludovici, but it's mimicking a wood shake roof, okay? Now, this is the same roof that you saw on my house, that 1928 house we're doing, the Staub house. They have a shake tile roof, but it has tons of character defects. And what they did was they actually hand pulled and made it look like the roof tile was actually rotting a little bit, right? That it was very aged. And so you also notice that all these color differences, okay? So what they're doing is they are aging these tiles, aging these roofs so that they have character and detail. Look at the two S-tile roofs, right? You got one that has very rough texture, one that has very smooth texture. Notice the blending and the different colors that's going on, which is really conveying the story that the roof has been repaired over time. They didn't have the exact match of that tile, but they just used what they had. It's very charming and it looks really good. This is called a Rancho tile. This is another tile that Ludovici came up with. Notice that it looks a little bit like a lazy S, okay? I just want to show you all these things because the variety that's available on these roof tiles and the way we used to build roofs with all of this attention to detail and all of these different factors really makes up a beautiful roof and can really make the difference on your house. So slate roofs, right? Not clay tile, slate. A very historical roof. Obviously a French roof is very typically a slate type roof. Now what you're looking at is you're looking at Vermont slate right here, okay? And what you're seeing is like this is an old piece of slate, this is a new piece of slate. That's a blend, okay? The great thing about these roofs, guys, is they can be salvaged, okay? That these are 50 to 150 year roofs, right? They last a very long time. When I was at North Bennett Street, we restored slate roofs, took the slates off one at a time, put them back on another building. There's a very long lasting product. This is not something that goes in the dumpster. You see a different blend of colors, okay? What slate sometimes will weather, okay, will fade. It's not fading, but what's happening is there's iron inside the slate and it's causing the slate to turn brown, okay? And so the minerals inside the stone are causing it to turn brown. Now you can get the slates where they don't change colors like this, and so that they're very even, which is what these are showing back here. When you're considering slate roofs in like the Victorian era, you'd see this color difference and where it actually stripe out a roof and put a diamond in a roof with the reds or these other things. So there was a lot of creativity that they were doing with the blend of colors. These very greens and blacks that don't change, don't have as much vibrance and life to them as a blended roof, in my opinion, but it's also going to be driven really strongly by the architectural style of the house and the story of the house, and whether it's Victorian or whether it's French or exactly what's going on in order to pick the right slate roof. This roof right here has a ton of character in it. I don't know if you can see all the character, but the bubbling spots, the flashing where the firing took place, the texture in the roof, the color difference, okay? This is a handmade tile, okay? This is a machine-made tile, okay? And they've got this detailing, okay, that's all done by computer, okay? Now, cost. These are going to be more expensive. You almost have to have a house that's $1 million plus house in order to make this kind of roof make sense. This, which is a machine-made tile with S-tile roof, is going to be, if you had 100 squares in your house, right? This is a $65,000 to $75,000 roof. This is probably $125,000 to $150,000 roof, right? So you're looking at almost twice the cost. These are great looking roofs, and I want to encourage you not to do a concrete clay tile roof, okay? Concrete started 15 years ago-ish. I remember when they were first coming out, they were gonna make these roofs obsolete. The problem is they fade. Doug, the owner of Roof, Slate and Tile, was just telling me that sometimes they change the pattern after 15 years, and so those old roofs actually won't even fit. The only reason he keeps concrete tiles here as a salvage material is because they don't make that size anymore, which is kind of crazy. It used to be when they were first coming out that concrete was a huge savings, but machine-made tiles like this from Spain that are really good, you're only going to save $5,000 to $6,000, and you're going to have a product that lasts 150 years versus 25 years. So don't do the concrete tile, in my opinion. Get the real thing. These are the things you need to consider when you're thinking about a really nice roof for your house. Okay guys, so when considering a slate or tile roof, there's a few things to consider. First thing is that your style of house, whether it's French or Spanish or whatever it is, will probably drive your choice more than anything, or in my opinion, should drive your choice, right? Because French, houses typically had a slate roof. That would make the most sense for that house, right? Spanish and mission styles would have a barrel tile roof. That's going to make the most sense. Second is you can really start dialing in, okay, that style piece to say, am I Southern Mediterranean? Am I south of France? Am I in Italy? Where are we on the Mediterranean that's going to drive the look and the feel of those tiles? That ends up driving color, right? That ends up driving finish. That ends up driving a few things like that will help you determine it. Remember that these roofs are heavier, okay, than a typical 3-tab roof. If you're trying to retrofit your house, you need to make sure that your roof can carry it, because sometimes these roofs can be very heavy. Really should be part of your consideration. And then as far as cost goes, these are a more expensive roof, right? But they last so much longer than anything else you can put on there. Really hope you use a place like this to come educate your client, right? On the costs, on the opportunity. Let them see the opportunity that they possibly might be missing, and let them choose something that's going to last 150 years, right? Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Hull Millwork Hull Homes. Sign up for the newsletter, and if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. I'm Brent Hull. Thanks for watching.